Hey guys, it's Max here. Sorry if the lighting in the dorm is kind of crap. Because I was trying to make sure the everything looks nice, and you might hear something that's the people outside. I apologize, but either way, I want to get to Bordertown, the show I sadly watched for. This aired last year, and it was gone after a season. That's must be bad. One season and it's out. And Fox will usually keep things around for a bit if Family Guy and The Simpsons is any proof. So it's like, damn. And especially like a adult si- family sitcom. I'm like, God. I mean, they kept like the Cleveland Show and all that for so long and for a decent amount of time, but one season, God. This must be pretty bad. Yeah, it is pretty bad. Oh god, but what makes this family sitcom different? Because this one takes place in in the fictional city of Mexifornia. Because it's on the Mexican border, and Mexico and California are together. I don't know. I don't get how this works. Mexico is a different country from the United States, especially California. It makes no sense. But whatever. And the idea is this time you have a kind of bigoted asshole living next to a group of living next to a Hispanic family, the hijinks. Oh god. How could? But here's my problem with this show, and I can tell it to you through describing the characters. The main character is pudgy, not very attractive, but he's also kind of stupid. Stupid. And his wife is a very supporting wife, and really has no other characteristics other than being supportive. He of course has a wacky toddler that does wacky things, a son that's an incredible loser, and a and an obnoxious teenage daughter that's like a rebel of some kind, or think I the dark horse of the family. Tell me if that sounds familiar. Yeah, it's it's basically every adult sitcom, that's what I call them anyway, adult sitcom cartoon you've ever seen in your life. Every one of them, and I guess this trend started kind of, you can argue, with yeah, I guess the trend started with the Flintstones, and then the Jetsons, and then the Simpsons. Obviously, proved they could do it with adult shows. And honestly, I'm sick of these shows. I'm so tired of them, and it feels even more depressing talking about them after last week I talked about BoJack Horseman. But and the thing is, sorry, the reason I the reasons I do love BoJack is because it's the most adult cartoon show. Where shows like this are, and I think a lot of adult shows are kind of childish, and I don't mean that to berate Family Guy or anything, but there's not a lot of adult moments. It's usually just a lot of jokes. Some can do it. I'm trying to remember. South Park hasn't really had that many. There's kind of ones like the ending to Bigger, Longer, and Uncut and things like that. Family Guy tried to have one with Brian's death in season 12, but God, that didn't. They didn't do it well. But that's the rare show that manages to do it right. This one is just all around joke, 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 and they are not funny because nothing about it is unique. The animation's hideous. The animation is ugly. No one looks attractive, and with a show like this, that can be fine if the characters are interesting. I mean, Bob's Burgers does not have very good animation. At times, and there, I'll be honest, at times I'm not exactly sure why it's animated, but I think the difference is, and maybe the reason is because the voices fit so well with the characters, and also because the characters are interesting. This show, it's all the sitcom tropes, and they never evolve past it. And they're good voice actors too. You have the guy that played Rocco in Rocco's Modern Life has a couple roles in here. Alex Borstein is in this, which is so depressing. Because I've seen her in Mad TV, and I love her in Family Guy, and she's also in Catwoman, which is so sad. Sadder than this, actually. But the thing is, and there's Hank Azaria too, and even when he's not in something good. He is trying. I haven't seen Smurfs, but he doesn't look that bad in it. But at least he's kind of trying. Same thing with Anastasia. That's a movie I didn't like, but he's trying, and you can tell he's trying to do something. But most of the voices sound like the voices you use when mocking somebody, especially the dad and the daughter. The dad sounds like, how do I describe it? It's like Bob Dylan in a Celebrity Deathmatch. No idea to ruin your country. It's sort of like that to me. It's so ridiculous. Alex Borstein is painful as the daughter. It is. It is so ear piercingly bad. It's like it's like Whitey from Eight Crazy Nights. We're halfway there. Every time she speaks, I was like, please tell me that's not the voice you're going with. And when Borstein's done that voice in Family Guy, it's usually to accentuate the fact that the character's obnoxious. But here, I gotta sit through the show with her. Oh my god. And just, yeah, a lot of it, there's just not a lot of jokes happening. Just not a lot of funny jokes happening anyway. And I'm so sick of McFarlane writing these damn shows. I'm so sick of every show he makes. And I think he executive produced this. It's either producer or executive producer. He was involved with this either way, but his thumbprints are all over it. But I'm so sick of these shows. They're all the same goddamn thing. I'm so sick of every adult show being a wacky family in their adventures. God, stop. Go somewhere else. God. Even at least Brickleberry, which is by far a worse cartoon than this, one of the worst adult shows I've seen, at least it's not this autopilot. This feels like it was written by a machine. It's so soulless and dull and bad. Every episode feels like it goes on forever. It feels like episodes are 30 minutes and it feels like you're watching it for days. Oh god. Fox has not had that much great luck that I can think of with cartoons. It's at least the ones they air on TV. There's been when it comes to their adult shows, The Simpsons and Family Guy, obviously, and those shows did well for a bit. Those shows were good for a bit, and then they grew into crap. Bob's Burgers, I think, is still with them. American Dad, they had for a bit, and then they gave to TBS. At times that can still be funny, and at other times, but 90% of the time, it's bad. They had and then they had like crap like the Cleveland Show. They had what was that show? Napoleon Dynamite cartoon. Alan Gregory, for anyone that remembers that. I mean, they just have crap, and it just bothers me that all we get is this kind of show, and I guess that's why it only lasted one season. Someone woke up. Someone said, "I'm sick of this shit." Thank God. I have no idea why Netflix took this show. With some other shows, I get there's a following. Who watches this? I don't get who this is for. Who in the right mind would be interested in this? I mean, they have the new Magic School Bus, which I'll get to tomorrow. But at least with New Magic School Bus, there's an audience there, or Puss in Boots, or something. This is, and Netflix didn't do this show. This isn't one of their properties like BoJack or Death Note or anything. The Death Note movie, anyway. But this is something they just put on there, and I was puzzled. And it's just nothing. It's easily the most useless adult cartoon I've ever seen, and I can't think of a thing I liked. Everyone, even the Mexican family, was dull. The neighbors, I think someone described him as like Ned Flanders, and I was like, that's kind of accurate. I mean, he's not about the Lord, but he's just as happy, just as kind of obnoxiously happy. The wife's useless. His son is annoying. And he hooks up with Borstein's character as the daughter, and I was thinking, well, good. I don't know who the fuck would date either of you. The best way to describe Hispanic guy's son is, imagine if Lisa Simpson, Haley from American Dad, and those kind of characters were a Mexican man, and you have this. It is obnoxious. Every time I have to hear him talk about the plight of anything or protecting the environment, I want to jab knives in my ears. And maybe that's I've grown, and maybe that's kind of what I've noticed. Someone on the that more side, when they're talking about that at their most, when they're bad, they're annoying, and someone on the other side, the more conservative side, is at least kind of funny. Not as much anymore, but that, this isn't about politics, so but yeah, just I have no idea who would enjoy this. There's some cartoons that I get that there's an audience for, even if I don't like them, and that's fine. I mean, people like whatever, and I fully believe that if you have your own opinions, that's fine. And it's even kind of fascinating to learn people's opinions. I remember talking to one of my good friends here at school about the movie Maleficent, because I didn't like it at all, and she likes it, and it was kind of fascinating hearing a different perspective. But I can't imagine who would like this. Just it's not the fun level of bad. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not even the top 20. I mean, is it like Baby Looney Tunes or the Little Shop cartoon or 12 Ounce Mouse? No. Is it? Is it even? It's just not even worth getting angry over. It's dull. It's not funny. It's ugly. It's just bad. In none of the fun ways, which is very disappointing. But yeah, I guess if you would like to waste long periods of time and you're into tired shit, Bordertown's on Netflix. But I can safely say that if you honestly are looking for adult cartoon that actually tries, because I'm noticing this more with adult cartoons, everything's maybe that's the reason Bojack sticks out, because everything's a comedy, and it's like literally every adult cartoon, unless it's like an anime, is a comedy, and it's tiring. I'm so sick of every adult cartoon being a comedy. Let's unless it's funny, but let's mix it up. I I want to see something different. Because I mean, I like what's. It's not like we're in as bad of a dead zone as we have been in some years, but oh, just let's get something different in there. Something I probably would be interested in an adult action show. I think when I think of that, I think of like aside from anime, the only adult action show I can think of is Aeon Flux. I mean, I want to see something different, but maybe that's why this show got canceled. But yeah, if you want something more challenging, Netflix has a dozen or so things you can watch. Even if you're into the whole family wacky sitcom family thing, The Simpsons and Family Guy have this beat by a mile. And it's not the worst of those shows. I'd probably argue the Cleveland show is the worst, but it's so dull. It is so dull.